While I'm sure it was rough going for a bit, I for one am thrilled that visionary genius Edgar Wright was able to escape the dreaded Hollywood franchise machine to instead deliver the kind of brilliant auteur vision you can only get from an independent outsider. An action comedy about an adult child forged in the tragic loss of a musically inclined mother who kicks ass to the beat of an eclectic playlist while trying to rise above a life of crime and negotiating the development of his adult identity in the shadow of problematic father figures incongruously but somehow perfectly scored to a selection of popular music. I guess calling him Car Lord would have been a little on the nose. Just kidding around, guys. It's an amusing parallel, that's all. Much love to Edgar Wright, much love to the movie. Seriously, it's great. It's like shockingly great. A good movie, yes, but also the kind where once you think on it, it becomes even more amazing because you realize there's just no way in hell it should be anywhere near this good. But then that's kind of Edgar Wright's whole thing, right? Movies that should suck, but he and his boys make them somehow great. Like zombie movies, but with slackers making dorky references. I'm tired of both of those things, but he and Peg and Frost made it work. A buddy cop spoof done to death, but they made it work. Hell, The World's End, swap out weed for beer, and the elevator pitch for that one probably sounded like some late period Kevin Smith piece of crap, but he made it great. Scott Pilgrim by all rights should be the most insufferable, cringe-inducing movie ever made, but thanks to him, it's awesome. And Baby Driver is absolutely another entry for that list. The pitch on this one is basically The Transporter, but as a Nicholas Sparks young adult romantic hero. Sounds like garbage, right? Yeah, and yet Edgar Wright, so fucking awesome. Alright, so the title is a music reference, but it's also the guy's actual name and occupation. Ansel Elgort is Baby. He had an accident as a kid that messed up his ears, and now he always has to be listening to music. He also possesses near superhuman abilities at driving cars, and he's currently paying off a debt to a ruthless criminal mastermind played by Kevin Spacey, who forces him to be the wheelman for a series of daring bank heists. But no sooner has Baby managed to square his debts than does he meet and fall in love with a diner waitress who offers him love and a chance at a normal life. But he also quickly finds himself being forced back into the criminal life as part of an edgy, big payoff final job that soon puts everyone's lives in danger and pushes him towards getting his hands dirty in a way he thus far managed to avoid. And that's pretty much all there is to it, story-wise. This is a very, very straightforward crook with a heart of gold trying to go straight movie with a car chase-specific fixation. Change up the set list and you can easily imagine Burt Reynolds as Steve McQueen doing a version of this way back in the day, and it probably would have been pretty cool. But what makes Baby Driver special is all the small but vital differences between what Wright does and what a more conventional action filmmaker might be expected to do. He's actually not employing a lot of the familiar snap zooms and visual trickery that's come to be associated with his work, instead showing off his own nigh superhuman eye for scene geography and ultra-tight timing. These are some of the most elaborate, realistic car chases and shootouts to grace screens this year, but what might look like ironic slapstick in other circumstances here feels real and immediate, and that's not easy to do. But what anchors everything is Ansel Elgort as Baby. Now, I didn't expect much special out of this kid either based on his previous movies, but he brings it here in a really challenging and different kind of role. There's something off about Baby that the film never specifically identifies, but it's an unusual energy that makes him at once compelling, off-putting, weirdly intimidating, but also weirdly childlike. And once the plot has been laid out, the film is mostly driven not by story, but by the way the other ostensibly older, jaded, grown-up characters are compelled to act toward him. Sometimes friendly, sometimes bullying, sometimes nurturing, sometimes hurtful, some bouncing back and forth between all of the above. Everyone just can't seem to help but have an opinion on this kid. It's as though his actual personality is so guarded and inscrutable that the other characters are driven to project one onto him, and that's an interesting, real-feeling dynamic that ultimately pays off with the freewheeling third act, where surprise character turns as to which of the bad guys are actually bad plays out in clever, interesting ways. Now, saying more would be giving away the goods, since again, this is a pretty contained, economical little movie, but it may also end up being one of the year's best treats of the summer in terms of payoff and pure fun. 3.5 stars, don't miss this one.